आज का हमारा टॉपिक है लीनियर इक्वेशंस इन टू वेरिएबल्स। इसके तीन सब टॉपिक हैं। जिसमें पहला मेथड्स ऑफ सॉल्विंग लीनियर इक्वेशन इन टू वेरिएबल्स। इसमें दो मेथड हैं, पहला मेथड है ग्राफिकल मेथड और सेकंड मेथड है क्रैमर्स मेथड। सेकंड सब टॉपिक इस चैप्टर का है इक्वेशंस दैट कैन बी ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड इन लीनियर इक्वेशन इन टू वेरिएबल्स। यानी कि ऐसी इक्वेशंस हैं जो कि एक्चुअली लीनियर इक्वेशन इन टू वेरिएबल्स नहीं है, लेकिन उनको लीनियर इक्वेशन इन टू वेरिएबल्स में ट्रांसफॉर्म किया जा सकता है। ऐसी कुछ इक्वेशंस हम देखेंगे। और लास्ट जो है वो है एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ साइमल्टेनियस इक्वेशंस। यानी ये जो साइमल्टेनियस इक्वेशंस होती हैं इनका क्या एप्लीकेशन हम हमारे रियल लाइफ के अंदर कर सकते हैं, ये वाला टॉपिक हम इस चैप्टर में कवर करने वाले हैं। सो 9th स्टैंडर्ड के अंदर आपने जो पढ़ा था उसको थोड़ा सा रिकॉल करते हैं हम। सो लीनियर इक्वेशन इन टू वेरिएबल्स, व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ इट, इसकी डेफिनेशन क्या है वो देखेंगे हम यहाँ पे। और इसी डेफिनेशन के अंदर दो कंडीशंस आपको बताई जाने वाली है कि जो दो कंडीशंस लीनियर इक्वेशन इन टू वेरिएबल होने के लिए ज़रूरी होती हैं, वो दो कंडीशंस हम इस डेफिनेशन के अंदर टिक मार्क करेंगे। एन इक्वेशन विच कंटेन्स टू वेरिएबल्स, देखिए ये जो है ये हमारा फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट है, एन इक्वेशन विच कंटेन्स टू वेरिएबल्स। तो इसको थोड़ा सा आपको हाईलाइट कर लेना है। फिर नेक्स्ट है एंड द डिग्री ऑफ ईच टर्म कंटेनिंग वेरिएबल इज 1। तो जो आपका सेकंड कंडीशन है, सेकंड कंडीशन आपका यहां बन जाता है कि द डिग्री ऑफ ईच टर्म कंटेनिंग वेरिएबल, यानी एक ऐसा टर्म जिसमें वेरिएबल है उसकी डिग्री 1 होनी चाहिए, ये कंडीशन है। तो व्हाट इज डिग्री, तो आप यहाँ पे शॉर्ट के अंदर ये समझ लो कि डिग्री मीन्स पावर। जैसा भी आप लिखते हैं ना कि भाई x टू द पावर 2, तो फॉर एग्जांपल ये समझ लो कि ये वाले टर्म की जो डिग्री है, ये वाले टर्म की डिग्री कितनी है, ये वाले टर्म की डिग्री है 2। और फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कुछ ऐसे लिखा हुआ है 4y टू द पावर 5, तो यहाँ पे पावर कितनी है, पावर 5 है, तो डिग्री भी कितनी हो जाएंगी, डिग्री ऑफ दिस टर्म इज इक्वल टू 5। ओके, अंडरस्टूड। फॉर एग्जांपल कोई टर्म ऐसा है 3xy, तो उसमें क्या हो जाता है कि भाई y की पावर 1 है और x की भी पावर 1 है, तो दोनों की पावर मिला के कितना हो जाएगा 2। तो ये वाले जो टर्म की डिग्री होती है, ये वाले टर्म की डिग्री होती है 2। तो ऐसा थोड़ा सा स्लाइटली डिफर करता है, ये पावर से स्लाइटली डिफर करता है, लेकिन आप जनरली इतना समझ लो कि जो हाईएस्ट पावर होगा उसको हम डिग्री बोलेंगे। ओके, ये वो टर्म का होता है, किसी एक वेरिएबल का डिग्री नहीं होती बल्कि किसी एक टर्म की डिग्री होती है। So now we have seen there are two conditions to be a linear equation in two variable. What is first condition? That the equation contains how many variables? Exactly two variable, not more than two, not less than two, but exactly how many variables? Two variables. And degree of each term containing variable is 1. S1 is called as a linear equation in two variables. Okay. Now, what is the general form of the linear equation in two variables? ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. This is the general form of the equation of linear equation in two variables. Okay, ये general form where a, b and c are real numbers and x and y are the variables. Okay, and a comma b are not equal to 0 at the same time. a और b जो है वो 0 नहीं हो सकते. So एक example हमको यहाँ पे दिया गया है कि 3x plus minus 4y प्लस 12 इज इक्वल टू 0, ये इक्वेशन हमको यहाँ पे दी गई है। तो ये स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म में है, देखो, क्योंकि ये ax के फॉर्म में है, ये by के फॉर्म में है और ये c के फॉर्म में है, और बीच में इनके सिंबल्स है माइनस प्लस के, माइनस और ये प्लस वाला सिंबल है। तो एक स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म है, उसका जनरल फॉर्म है। और एक्चुअली इक्वेशन कैसी दी गई थी, 3x लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में था इज इक्वल टू के, और 4y माइनस 12 जो है वो राइट हैंड साइड में था इक्वल टू के। तो इसको हमने जनरल फॉर्मेट के अंदर कैसे लिखा, 3x, ये 4y माइनस इधर आएगा तो माइनस 4y, और ये माइनस 12 इधर आएगा तो प्लस 12 हो जाएगा। तो 3x माइनस 4y प्लस 12, इस तरीके से हमने उसको लिखा। ओके, चलिए, तो इसके अंदर हमने देखा कि एक ऐसी इक्वेशन जिसके अंदर दो वेरिएबल हों or the term which is containing variable, the degree of that term should be equal to 1, and the multipliers of variables means a and b should not equal to 0 at the same time. Okay, these are the two conditions. Now complete the following activity. Complete the following activity. What is the activity? Equations are given, 7 equations are there, and what is asked, is the equation a linear equation in two variables or not? Okay, good. So the equation given is 3x square minus 7y is equal to 13. This is the given equation. So what was the first condition? There should be two variables. So x is a one variable, y is one variable. First condition is satisfied. What was the second condition? The term containing the variable, the degree of that term should be equal to 1. So this is one term 3x square. This is another term 7y, which are containing the variable. What is the degree of this term? The degree of this term is 2. So that degree is not is equal to 1. That's why this equation is not a linear equation in two variables. Now the next question. What is the next question? Root 2x minus root 5y is equal to 16. So what is the first condition? There should be two variables. First variable is x, second variable is y. Okay, that condition is satisfied. What is the second condition? The degree of the term containing the variable should be 1. So this is the first term, root 2x. What is the degree? 1. The second one is root 5y. What is the degree? 1. Second condition is also satisfied. Now the third condition, the multipliers of variables means the multiplier of x and multiplier of y should not be 0. Why? Because the whole term will become 0 and there is no point in calling it a variable. So the multiplier of x is root 2, which is not equal to 0. And the multiplier of y is root 5, which is also not equal to 0. So all three conditions are getting satisfied. That's why this is a linear equation in two variable. We will say yes, this is the equation in two variable. Now the fourth equation is 0x plus 6y minus 3 is equal to 0. Now what is the first condition? The first condition is that there should be two variables. So x is one variable, y is one variable. That condition is getting satisfied. What is the second condition? The term containing the variable, the degree of that term should be equal to 1, not less than 1, not more than 1. So this is 0x, this is 6y. Degree of those two terms is 1. So second condition is also satisfied. Now what is the last and third condition? The multipliers of the variable means the multipliers of x and y should not be equal to 0. But here the multiplier of x is 0. That's why we cannot call it as a linear equation in two variable. Understood? Now the next question is 0.3x plus 0y minus 36 is equal to 0. So what is the first condition? There should be two variables x and y. There are two variables. Okay. What is the second condition? The degree of the term should be equal to 1. Okay, this is 1, this is also 1, that is also satisfied. Now what is the third condition? The multipliers of the variable should not be 0. The multiplier of variable is 0.3x. Okay, that's satisfied. But the multiplier of y is 0. There the condition is not getting satisfied. That's why this is not a linear equation in two variables. Okay. Now the next one, 4 upon x plus 5 upon y is equal to 4. तो अगर हम इस इक्वेशन की क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन करेंगे तो ये हो जाएगा 4y plus 5x upon xy is equal to 4. अगर xy को ऊपर ले जाएंगे उसको थोड़ा सा रीअरेंज करेंगे इक्वेशन को तो ये क्या हो जाएगा 5x plus 4y is equal to 4xy. So the first condition, there should be two variables. Okay, x and y, there are two variables. Now what is the second condition? The degree of the term which is containing the variable should be 1. इसकी डिग्री कितनी है? 1 है. Okay. इसकी डिग्री कितनी है? 1. Okay. But here this term has the degree of 2. Why? The x to the power 1 and y to the power 1. The degree of total term will become 2. That's why this equation is not a linear equation in two variable. Okay. Last one. 4xy minus 5y minus 8 is equal to 0. How many variables? X first variable, y second variable. That's okay. But again here the degree of this term is 1, but degree of this term is 2. That's why this is not a linear equation in two variables. Again, the first question which was remaining, 4m plus 3n is equal to 12. Here how many variables are there? Two variables, m and n. Okay, degree of this term 1, degree of this term is also 1. So second condition is also satisfied. What is the third condition? The multiplier of those variables should not be 0. So multiplier of m is 4, that's also satisfied. Multiplier of n is 3, that's also satisfied. All the three conditions are getting satisfied. That's why this equation is, yes, this is a linear equation in two variable. Okay, so there are two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 3, which are two linear equation in two variables, and the equation number 2, equation number 4, equation number 6, equation number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 equations are not a linear equation in two variables. I hope you understand this video. Now, means this activity. The next one, simultaneous linear equation. When we think about two linear equation in two variables at the same time, they called simultaneous equations. If there are two variables x and y, and there are two equations using the same variable, first equation is having the same variable x and y, second variable is also having, second equation is also having the same variable x and y, then those combination of these two equations is called as simultaneous linear equation. Last year we learned to solve, means in the 9th standard we learned to solve simultaneous equations by eliminating one variable. Let us revise it. So first equation is what? Equation number 1 is what? 5x minus 3y is equal to 8. That is equation number 1. 3x plus y is equal to 2. This is equation number 2. Now what do you mean by solving these equations? Solve the equations means you have to calculate the value of x. Here in this question the variables are x and y, and we have to find out the values of those variables. What is the value of x and what is the value of y? This means we are solving these equations. And what is the first method? First method is of elimination method. Which method? Elimination method. In the elimination method, we try to eliminate one of the variable from the given equation, whether x or y. Here now we have to examine these two equations. What is the first equation? 5x. And what is the second equation? Minus 3y. What is the second variable? Minus 3y. Here the first variable is 3x and the second variable is just y. Okay. Now if we add these two equations, then this minus and plus, they are getting to cancel each other. But minus 3y and plus y will become minus 2y. What if we multiply the equation number 2 with 3, and this becomes 3 into 3 9x, and 3 into y becomes 3 plus 3y, and 2 into 3 becomes 6, and then we add these two equations, then we can eliminate the y term. Okay, the variable y term we can eliminate from the equation, and we will get the value of x, and then using that value of x we can calculate the value of y. Now let's do it. Okay, now let's multiply equation number 2 with 3. Okay, now it becomes 3 into, what do we multiply? You have to multiply the 3 with each term of the equation. Okay, now there are three terms, 3x, y and 2. 3 into 3x plus 3 into y is equal to 2 into 3. So by doing so you are not changing any value. 3 into 3 9x plus 3 into y 3y plus 2 into 3 6. Okay, now this becomes equation number 3. Now we know that, okay, if this is going to minus 3y and this is plus 3y, if we add these two equations, then minus 3y and plus 3y are going to cancel each other. Now add equation number 1 and equation number 3. Okay, now what was the equation number 1? Again, equation number 1 was 5x minus 3y. 5x minus 3y is equal to 8. Now what is equation number 3? 9x plus 3y is equal to 6. Now what we have to do? We have to add it. Sorry, my bad. Now plus and plus. Okay, 5 plus 9, 14x. Now minus 3y plus 3y gets cancelled, is equal to 8 plus 6 is equal to 14. So x is equal to 14 upon 14 is equal to 1. Okay, now we get the value of x. Now put this value in any of the equation number 1 or 2 or 3. Equation number 2 seems small. 3x plus y is equal to 2. Put x is equal to 1 in equation number 3x plus y is equal to 2. So 3 into x is equal to 1 plus y is equal to 2. Now 3 plus y is equal to 2, y is equal to 2 minus 3, so y is equal to minus 1. Now we get the values of both the variables x and y. X and y. What is the value of x? The value of x is 1 and the value of y is minus 1. So this thing is called as, what do we call it? We call it the solution of the simultaneous linear equations in two variables. Okay, so this is the solution. Yes, we can doing it. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. This is the solution. Okay, I hope you understand all these things. So there is nothing, just few things are there in this chapter. Linear equation in two variables. There are two methods, graphical method and Cramer's method, to solve it, other than the elimination method which we have studied in the class 9th. And the second topic will be the such equations which are not exactly linear equation in two variables, but we can transform it into linear equation in two variables. And the third thing we are going to learn in this chapter is application of those simultaneous equations in our daily life. Now what we have recalled that a equation can be called as linear equation in two variables if it satisfies three conditions. What is the first condition? It should contain exactly two variables, and the degree of each term containing the variable should be 1, and the general form of these equations are ax plus by plus c, where a and b are the multipliers of the variable and they cannot be 0. These are the three conditions. And then we have completed the activity. What was the activity? The 7 equations were given, and we have to find out whether these are the linear equation of two variables or not. So we have examined all these 7 equations on the 3 conditions. The first condition was whether there are 2 variables, yes or no, whether each term containing variable having degree 1 or more or less, or the third condition was the multiplier of the variable should not be 0. Any equation which is satisfying all these 3 conditions is called as the linear equation in two variables. Otherwise it is not a linear equation in two variable. And at the last we have seen how to solve the simultaneous equation. What is the simultaneous equation? When using same variable there are two equations with two variables. These are called simultaneous linear equation. And how to solve it? By elimination. So in the elimination method, what we have to do, we have to examine the given equations, then we have to make necessary changes in such a way that by adding or subtracting we can eliminate one of the variable, so we can get the value of another variable. Here we have changed the equation number 2 and by multiplying it by 3, so it becomes 9x plus 3y is equal to 6. And now by adding equation number 1 and 3, we have eliminated the y variable term, and by using that we have calculated the value of x, which comes 1. And now by putting x is equal to 1 in any of these 3 equations, we can get the value of y, which is going to get minus 1, and now this x is equal to 1 and y is equal to minus 1 is called as the solution of the simultaneous linear equations. I hope you understand this video.